The Sydney Mardi Gras is a famous Sydney parade, one of the best in the world. It started in 1978 as Sydney's contribution to the gay solidarity movement. It was a rough start, with many accusations of police harassment and arrests. However, as it grew in popularity, attitudes changed, and now it attracts hundreds of thousands of spectators every year, and people from all walks of life march in the parade.
My name is Robin Plaister. I was one of the first 78ers, as they call us, in that I was involved in the Mardi Gras in 1978. I was actually an organiser of that march, and there was probably about 1,000 of us. One of the main oppositions at the time of the start of the Mardi Gras was the Reverend Fred Nile, who belonged to the Festival of Light. He was anti-abortionist, he was anti-homosexual, etc. And one of the things he did was always at the beginning of the march, he would be with a whole lot of his followers and they'd be praying for rain so that the march wouldn't occur.
So we are concerned about obviously any accidents of a lesbian running over a Christian person.
I think at the beginning of the Mardi Gras in the 80s through to the 90s that you could see a growth in acceptance of both homosexuals as more legislation was changed. Obviously the attitude of people had changed, the attitude of politicians had changed.
30 hours work in the hair and about 3.5 days in the dresses.
It wasn't until '98 that you got different groups like the police actually marching with the Mardi Gras. The churches, the Uniting Church started to be involved. There was a Jewish group involved in '98. So as those groups started to be involved and the media also covered the Mardi Gras, you actually saw the attitudes of people changing. It was certainly something which drew incredible crowds. Commercially, it was very effective. There was a lot of overseas people coming.
California.
Thailand. Indonesia.
Australia is just so accepting of this. You would never see anything like this in the States.
We're from Phoenix, Arizona.
The Mardi Gras parade has certainly changed from the beginning when we only had 1,000 people attending. Probably, I mean, it's hundreds of thousands, 700, 800,000 people at least. Heterosexual groups really want to march in support of lesbians and gay men. One of the years was really interesting to see the parents of lesbians and gay men who had children marching in support of their daughters and sons.
Because I'm really proud that I'm a parent of gay children.
I'm here to be with my son.
You feel very proud?
Very proud indeed. It's an honour to be here.
I think the Mardi Gras in being sent out by the media to other countries is really important messages for lesbians and gay men all over the world. And it gets the message out that there is hope there that things can change. Our legislation has certainly changed to keep up to the change in attitudes in terms of anti-discrimination, etc. In reflecting on the last 30 years of the Mardi Gras, some of the original goals was to stop police harassment. It was also to stop discrimination and repeal those sorts of laws against homosexuals. And I think we've achieved a lot of that.